Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Funko Magic the Gathering Legacy Collection figure number 3, Ajani Goldmane. I know what you're thinking. Spot didn't really do these in order because we had to look at Chandra, which was figure 6, and now we're kind of going back and we're looking at figure 3. I kind of just want to keep this figure for the last. I only picked up 4 figures of the Magic the Gathering. I kind of want to look at this figure last because he looks so very cool. This is figure number 3 from Magic the Gathering. Spot picked up actually from the folks over at Toots Toys. So I'll put that link down in the description section down below. If you guys want to pick these figures up for yourself, head over to Toots Toys. They have some pretty great, actually pretty decent prices on action figures. Down below, there is a picture of Ajani Goldmane. Again, I love the names that they had come up with for Magic the Gathering. Warning, choking hazard may contain small parts. I don't really see small parts, but I do see a very large kind of looks like a scythe. Kind of looks like something that they use to cut up garlic and herbs. I'm thinking that that's not what it was used for. On the back of the package, Magic the Gathering Legacy Collection Series 1 consists of Jace Beleren, Garrick Wildspeaker, Ajani Goldmane, Nisa Ravane, Liliana Vess, and Chandra Nalar. Again, Spot apologizes. You know, Spot's not great sometimes when it comes to pronouncing names. You should see what I'm like in public. It's even worse. You can also check out Gentle Giant and Funko collaboration on Magic the Gathering figures. What I am going to do is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Magic the Gathering Legacy Collection figure number 3, Ajani Goldmane. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. I think I was really right by leaving Ajani for the last figure because he is really impressive. He has a problem, though, and the problem, I guess, really being that he doesn't stand very well. You'll also see that he probably appears a little bit taller than what he did when we were looking at the package end of the review, because when he was in packaging, his knees were actually bent. They were bent like that. And actually his lower legs were also bent like that. So it made him shorter than actually what he ended up being. The thing is, though, I'm not quite certain what's the best way to pose him. I mean, I could straighten out his legs, but, you know, they're problematic at best to get the legs to properly stand. You kind of have to rotate the thighs slightly, too, because he's got a very small footprint. He's got big feet, but he's got a very small footprint to actually sit on a shelf. So a display stand would have been very nice. I have also pricked... Don't worry, it's not bleeding, but I've also pricked myself on these. They're not sharp, but they can be potentially sharp depending on how much pressure you put on them. There's a spike right at the back there, and there's a couple on the side there too. It's again, it's not really a sharp plastic, but it's a plastic that you gotta be careful that you don't prick your finger on. He's a good-looking figure, but yeah, I just kind of wish he had a display stand because I'm really not sure which way I should be displaying him. Part of me thinks that I should just bend the legs back, like the way that he was packaged in the inside the packaging itself. But yeah, he doesn't stand very well. He comes with 2 accessories. I'm going to say several, but really, truth be told, he only comes with 2 accessories. One accessory that we already looked at, which is a silver and gold. What would you want to call that? It's like a bladed axe. I don't know if he would spin it or he would use either side to dispense justice. Some really great artwork, though, on the sides. Like, it looks like that might be like a wolf head. Very, well, actually, that's the same head. It's just painted 2 different ways. And then the other weapon that I didn't realize he came with until I took this weapon out, he also comes with a sword. Which, again, has some... Oh, I guess those are all cats, again, because he is a lion. So I guess that would be a cat on the artwork treatment there. You can have him holding the sword. Put that into his hand. And it would only fit this one hand because the other hand is way too big to accommodate the handle. Or what you can also do too is he's also got a sheath on the side to hold the sword. Now the sheath has a little slit in it, so you have to, it would have to be there for it to clear and get it in there, but the end result is it kind of leaves a nice open back area there to the sheath. And then of course you can take the double bladed axe. I'm sure if there is a technical name, you guys will let me know down below. You guys are good for that. But you can take that and put that into his hand, and maybe help use that as the means to balance him. He has also the problem, because his legs are articulated the way that they are, and because they're articulated to lean forward, can you kind of see what's going to happen here? These are getting a little loose, because it makes the figure want to fall forward and continue to loosen the joint on the legs. Not super keen on that. Rest of the details, though, very nice. He's got the gold shoulder armor plate, which matches the blade at the bottom there, or top, depending on which way you wanted to pose him. I like the color as well that they've used for this wrap. Kind of this cape. It looks like that's a hood, so probably more like a cloak that he's got attached to the side armor piece here. Again, Funko, when they've designed these and made them, they've given them, like, all the little armor pieces are all rubbery, which I'm in favor for, because it just makes things a little easier when you want to move the legs, especially things like thighs and stuff like that. You know, nothing's obstructed. He's got a front, what do you want to call it? Like a little wrap or a little front strap there. Spot's totally not even calling it the right thing. What would you call this thing? Just a little something down below there. The thing with the side of the cloak, though, it limits him moving his arms. His arms are articulated. This arm has no problem at all. This arm, on the other hand, you can't do too much with. Loincloth? Would you call that a loincloth? I'm revisiting something that really I think a lot of people have already forgotten about. It limits, though, moving his arm. You can still move his arm, but it really obstructs it. I like his face. His face is nice. It looks like he's been scarred in the one eye. The open eye is very visible. Primed for revenge, I'm sure. It also looks like his mouth is articulated, but it's not. It's not. And I feel like his teeth, again, are sharp pieces. Not that you would be going like this with your fingers. I don't know why you would want to. But if you were to go like this, be careful, you might prick yourself. There's the back. Yeah, Ajani is a nice piece. Even if perhaps Spot's probably naming him or calling him the wrong thing or pronouncing the wrong thing. When it comes to your articulation, let's take the big... I love this. This is awesome. I love that. Put that to the side. For your articulation, Ajani has a swivel in the head, but you can't really do much with it. This shoulder prevents it. This doesn't really prevent it, but it just doesn't really allow you to do much movement. Shoulders are on a ball hinge joint. This shoulder allows you to go about that far. This shoulder, I suppose, about the same. He has a swivel at the bicep. He has a bend in the elbow, but I find like all of these figures, all of the Magic the Gathering figures are stiff in the joints, so be careful. You want to go like this and... Oh, you know that would happen. I probably have jinxed myself by doing that. He has a swivel in the hand. Not that you really can do very much with it. Swivel at the waist. And legs go forward, back, out. Swivel at the thigh. Single bend the knee. But then a single also bend at the lower leg. Not keen on this. Unless I had a display stand. But he doesn't have any peg holes on the undersides of his feet, so this is about as much you could do with displaying him. You just have to have him kind of leaning against something, or really, I guess, posing him in such a way, maybe something like that. That's kind of bold, very regal pose, and you can have his axe with him as well. And the last thing I guess I didn't really touch base on is his tail. He has a rubbery tail, so you can't do much with it, but by the same token, because it's rubbery, it's not going to limit, it's not going to get in the way of having him posed. He is one of the more impressive figures from this set. he is just a little harder to stand, which is the only downside. Display stands, maybe for future series when they do more of these. I'd like to see him doing them with display stands. I think that would be a great touch. It allows you to showcase the piece with a stand that, you know, really represents the line, but it also allows them to do essentially what the stands would be there for, to help the figures stand. For your rating, Ajani Goldmane, I'm gonna give him an 8. I was gonna say 8.5, but I think I'm just gonna stick with an 8. That's my decision. I'm just gonna stick with it. He's a good-looking figure. He's a little problematic though when it comes to standing. If you guys are interested in picking these figures up for yourself, as well as some other figures, Star Wars and superhero figures, you can head over to Toots Toys. I'm going to provide the link down below. And again, prices are really reasonable. I picked up a whole slew of, I picked up the Magic the Gathering figures that we're looking at now. Picked up also a couple of Star Wars figures that we're going to be looking at a later date as well. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to also have more videos heading your way. So really, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.